Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. It's once again time for the WADcast, episode number 110. I am one of your hosts, Josh, joined as always by the guy that is his own best critic, Brandon.
What is I'm my worst critic? What are you talking about? Happy Friday, everybody. My last Friday of my 30s. And I still look amazing. So, I think I look pretty goddamn good, Josh.
Yeah, you're okay.
Honestly, for an Irish, Polish, Romanian, what the hell ever international mutt I am, I think I get the good genes. I mean, I've got my brothers have less hair than I do. So most of them are younger than me. And the other one is, like a friar tuck. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you. So on tonight's show, we're making it all about me.
Just like every week.
Yeah, this is the junk cast right now. Okay, not the WADcast. No, it's been an eventful week. I'm about to have 2 days of work and then 4 days off to do nothing but take out some aggression in Grand Theft Auto 5. How's your week been? Taking aggression now on the school bus?
Oh, no.
You pulling a Chris Farley from Billy Madison?
I've got stories, though, if you want to hear stories after the show.
Oh, maybe. I've got to work tonight, but I can always call you after the show and we can hash it out.
Sounds good.
Cool. So you want to discuss what the topic is tonight, since this is going to be like a regular hour-long show since I've got to work. Let's jump right to the point here.
All right. Well, the long and short of it is specifically Black Adam came out, right? And
yep. It did something.
It seems the audience liked it, according to the aggregate totals on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But critics, not so much, which caused this reaction. Yeah, help if you paid attention, Brandon.
It's so stupid.
I got these on here for a reason, so I'm going to use them. For those of you listening to the audio podcast, why aren't you joining us live every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific? That way you can see all of the sight gags, as well as figuring out what's in my background this week.
Do you have any idea how many sight gags I catch after going back and watching the show and actually catching up on what I've missed? What do you have in the background there?
Well,
is that Batman?
Yeah, Batman. Batman showing up, as always.
I love how we're both grown men, both of which right at like the doorway of the 40s, like almost mutual 40s.
I'm 40.
I know. I'm not yet. I've got 3 days, which I might as well say I'm 40. But the thing is I love the fact that we are both practically middle-aged men right now. And you have action figures in the background. You've got your action figures over there. I've got action figures of us.
Yeah.
And then I've got Mr. Richard Simmons right up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, also in my background this week, a little car from one Mr. Beast.
Okay, nice. And you got a card? You got a card from him? A car. Oh,
the everyone gets a car. Some lucky winner got to get a life-size version.
Richard, down. Richard. What?
And also, you'll see a copy of Fred Allen's Treadmill to Oblivion. It's a book.
I know what it is. I've read it. Let me put my... action figure of Richard Simmons back really cool. Oh, do the shoes come off? They do come off.
All this time, you don't even know the shoes come off. But
Well,
anyway,
I do now.
we're talking about critics versus audience scores.
Yes.
Why are they so drastically different?
Because critics are, listen, there's nothing special about critics to me. Like, I mean, qualifications are you have to have a college degree in movies. That's really it. Like college degree in either communications, telecommunications, journalism, things like that. You don't have to stack them all up because I don't think it takes that much to qualify to be a film critic. I mean, honestly, you're just watching a movie and analyzing it. That's all you're doing it.
Yeah.
Discussing the rough plot of it and saying yay or nay, should you go see this or should you skip it? There's your whole job. I'm sure it's a sweet gig. But let's see. Yeah, Bachelor of Journalism, Bachelor of Mass Communication, Bachelor of Film Studies, or Bachelor of the Arts, and you have to speak English.
Well, I mean, you have to if you're writing in, say, Spain.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, according to this website here, that's pretty much, but I don't know how accurate this is. Oh, okay. You know why? This is a college in India. They want you to speak English in India. So, postgraduate courses, film studies, MA, research in film. So this may not be accurate for what it would take in the United States, but still, you have to have a journalism degree at the very least out here to be a film critic, or make it on your own steam, which is, what a few people are actually starting to do these days. Because what critics do you think actually went to college to become critics that are on the verge of wearing diapers again for the second time in their lives?
No, I would imagine most reputable movie critics are people that have tried for the industry and fell just a bit short.
Roger Ebert.
Well, I wasn't going to name any names.
No, I will always name him. But yeah, so let's actually dive into this, because Black Adam is sitting on Rotten Tomatoes, which is why I never read any of the reviews on Rotten. I never really listen to critics where I go see a movie. It either looks good to me or it doesn't.
Right.
But with Black Adam on the tomato meter, it is at 40%, and audience scores is at 89%. And I find myself, after seeing it, kind of in the middle there. Oh, sorry, camera's there. I'm using my old phone. It's kind of in the middle, teeter-tottering between the middle ground of 89 and 40. It was entertaining, but it was okay. I think it's definitely overhyped. But let me see here. There we go. Richard Brody from the New Yorker, top critic. He's important. There's something morally deadening and aesthetically depressing about the bottomless toy chest of CGI being reduced to the toolbox of cinematic bureaucracy. So it's fun. Yeah, it's a superhero movie.
Sounds a little pretentious.
Yeah, it's a superhero movie. You want him to lay on the table and have them blow a fan at his cape or something like that? I mean,
this visual effects this visual effects cavalcade has too many visual effects.
Yeah, right. They can't get real lightning to shoot out of his hands.
Remember when it used to be done all practical? And don't get me wrong, I really enjoy it when they decide to go more practical than anything. But there are some things that are just welcoming to being a CG fest. I think a flying superhero that shoots lightning bolts from his fingertips is probably one of them.
And there's some times where CGI is almost impossible to spot. And this goes back to Jurassic Park. The T-Rex, the T-Rex attack. Oh yeah, absolutely. But then if you go to superhero movies, Iron Man in 2008, the scene where he gets shot out of the sky by I think it was a tank, right? That knocked him out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes down, the tank shoots at him again, and he dodges and he shoots a little rocket, blows the tank up. That The scene where he's crawling out of the hole looks so real, but it was all CGI. It was damn near impossible to tell which was different. But so you have a few reviews here. Black Adam is mostly a movie made up of strictly baseline ideas or the regurgitation of already existing ones, and I actually agree with that one. Because just like every other movie where there's just like a big event that's about to happen, we get a sky beam. That's how you know this shit has hit the fan in a superhero movie. You get a sky beam.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we already have like 3 MCU movies that have done. I'm sorry, DCEU movies that have done that.
Yep.
The sky beam. We have a bunch of MCU, Marvel entries that have done that. That's just how you know shit has gotten real. There's a sky beam.
Where's everybody at? Skybeam. Oh.
Yeah.
There they are.
Pretty much, yeah. But I saw the movie and I was like, okay, it's entertaining. It did its job. I was entertained. In the words of our friend, the friend to our show and a friend of mine, Mark Hensley, it's not War and Peace by any means. It's a superhero. Well, anti-hero movie, I guess. But it's a movie.
It was fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like I just don't see like all the hype and I don't see all the hate. Like I've heard like it's the worst superhero that's come out like so far. I'm like, you haven't seen Morbius, have you?
I have not.
Oh God. So you haven't heard the new catchphrase? It's Morbin time.
I've seen it all over Facebook, but I don't.
Oh my God. All right. Oh, you're in for a really shitty treat there, buddy.
I don't think I am.
If you watch it, it's
on Netflix now, and I still haven't watched it.
It'd be like in Field of Dreams, if it was called Field of Nightmares, and someone said, "If you build it, you will die."
Mm-hmm.
That's like watching Morbius. Like if you watch it, you'll. No, that doesn't really. It's not the same.
So Black Adam is not Morbius bad, but it's not.
It's a movie. It's to me, it's on the same scale as what Shazam was. I think that they are definitely two sides of the same coin in content. Because like Shazam, it was entertaining. It had like pretty good effects in it for the most part, except for like when the demons showed up. That was a little over the top. But
it had some chuckles.
It had some chuckles. Had some serious moments. This one did too. But it's just like where Shazam was more of like an upbeat, like superhero comedy action kind of movie. This was maybe like a darker, more brooding action kind of movie. But
kind of like Man of Steel.
Yeah, like Shazam is trying to figure out like how to look cool, and this kid is trying to teach Black Adam how to look cool. Like even having a catchphrase like before he kills someone, tell them the Man in Black sent you. But he keeps killing them before he tells them the catchphrase. And that one scene, when he's about to say it, but he realizes he just killed the guy before he could even finish it. And he's like, oh well. Like it had funny moments, but it's like it was, it was good. I don't think I'm going to be buying it, but it was good.
Am I glad I watched it? Sure.
Yeah, it passed the time for me.
That's what it did. And it gives me the ability to have this conversation. A critical, analytical conversation about a movie that I have seen. Crazy.
My biggest gripe with Black Adam, and you already know what it is, man. It's not that like someone in Movie Addiction on Facebook said something about how it's got plenty of slow motion. I think that they misconstrued or misunderstood what I said about my hatred for slow motion. So for those of you listening to the show for the first time tonight, my issue with slow motion is the fact that if it makes sense, I'm good with it. Zack Snyder, every one of his movies, except for Dawn of the Dead. Damn near all of his movies always has like slow motion it for some incomprehensible reason, just because it looks like it would be a cool shot. It's like, hey, Zach, you know what would be really cool is if we get out of this theater in about like 2 hours. That'd be really cool. But we have to stay there for like 4 or 5 hours to just watch the damn film, and because he's got like a lot of really cool shots in it. Raindrop, slow motion. Chick getting coffee, slow motion. Guy turning around, slow motion.
Chick handing coffee to security guard, slow motion.
Slow motion. Oh, hi. It's good to see you. He gets it back. He's like, gets it. Oh, yeah. You have a great day, okay? Have a great day.
Okay.
It's fucking boring, but there's my one per episode. But the thing is,
didn't want cream.
We need to get like a scene in a movie where like there's a Karen in a coffee shop screaming at someone, but slow motion. But
20 minutes right there.
But if it's not the slow motion bit that drives me crazy, it is when a plot is reiterated to you right after something happens.
What happened?
You'll usually see this, usually about like the midway point of a movie. That's when you'll usually see this. In Fantastic Four, from like Rise of the Silver Surfer, I think we talked about this on the show, right, Josh?
Yep.
Okay. There's a scene where the Thing is in the back of the jet. And he reiterates every single event that happened in the movie and what they're about to do and what the stakes are. In the very opening scene of Black Adam, they escape a mountain. Black Adam saves the female protagonist in this movie. And she's escaping this mountain while he's killing everybody. She gets in the car and she's like, "Oh, is that Ishmael, a friend of theirs? What happened?" And this guy just goes through a whole list of everything save for the attack of Black Adam because he wasn't there for that one. He didn't witness that. But he goes through everything that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I'm like, okay,
within the last 45 seconds, everything.
Yeah, like to a T. I'm like, okay, that wasn't needed. Oh, what happened to him? Well, aside from him being pushed off the building and the other guy like them being shot, like, oh, okay, yeah, we get it. We watched it. It's okay. But you know,
and now we only have a quarter tank of gas. Ah.
But that is the part that drove me crazy. I don't know why it drove me crazy so much, but it did. So going to that, like, the pacing was there, everything else was there. The acting was actually pretty on point. So I enjoyed it for the fundamental reasons. I mean, it's worth watching. I'll say that. I mean, it's, as you and I say on the show so much, go see the movie and form your own opinions. If you don't like superhero movies, you're probably not going to like this one. If you like anti-hero movies, you may like this one. Because he says throughout the entire film that he's not a hero. He's no one's savior. Poor guy says that. I've lost count of how many times he said that in the movie. People are like, "Oh, he's our hero."
Can I get into my few qualms that I have?
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
All right. First, hearing things like a character say, "Oh, I don't know, heroes don't kill people," and you think back at all the other movies that were released, related to this, you're like, "Yep, Batman, Superman, Wonder, yep, all of them have freaking killed people."
The Flash is the only one to be. He's the only one to not broken his kill a person cherry.
At least not in the movies.
Yeah, in real life, I mean, he's already like gone through like the Chocobitch cherry and everything else, and kidnapping, letting a kid stuck on a bullet shell, and all. The Flash is a terrible person in real life, but yeah, like, and that's exactly it. That's what I was cracking up over that. Yeah, it's like you and I
kill.
But I mean, like, yeah, so it's like all the heroes kill, and even these guys, after he says heroes don't kill, he gives up. It's either before or after, but he says you either come with us or die.
Yeah. Dr. Fate straight up says, kneel before us or die. It's like,
Yeah. Like, are you guys going to like just like, I don't know, find something and stick to it, or are you just going to make this up as you go along?
which brings up my other issue. I'm talking story wise here. That whole part where Adam is confronted the first time, and Dr. Fate, he's supposed to be the reasonable, smart one, and all that. Gives him that ultimatum, and instead of saying, "And if you choose to fight us, hey, just a thought here. Could we go maybe a mile in any direct, like literally any direction, and do this
No,
fight?"
right?
Because
It's like, it didn't work out for Superman and Zod, so maybe we should just like maybe get away from all the people.
this place is literally surrounded by desert. We could go anywhere, duke this out.
I know. Like, nope, in the city.
No, and it's not Adam that's like, we're gonna fight here. No, they're just like, we're going to attack you now in the middle of this major populated area.
They seriously, it was like they just ganged up on his ass like out of nowhere. Like, the guy, he just wants to be left alone. He's a rogue metahuman. Like, what? He just woke up. Like, if you wake up from a long nap, do you want someone like to just come into your house and start beating you up? No, of course not.
Which
like,
brings me to my. It's not the last issue I have in the movie, but it's the last major like writing issue I have as far as characters are concerned. When the heroes are being told, the quote unquote heroes are being told, "Hey, what are you doing here? This is our country. This is our city.
Yep.
Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
He's, they're pointing to Adam like, that's our guy. Why are you messing with our guy? Now you want to come and quote unquote help us? You're trashing our town and you're here uninvited. You know what? We're good. And it bothers me a lot when, especially the smart leader type of the group is like, I hear you. You're making a good point.
But I don't care.
Be gone, peasant.
Pretty much. Oh God. No, that's what cracked me up. Like, that's another thing that kind of bothered me, like with this movie. Like, I know, I don't know if we were supposed to like the Justice Society. I don't know if we were supposed to really like them or not. Because they only had two likable characters in them. Like Dr. Fate and Hawkman were like they're assholes, and they're condescending as hell too. Very condescending towards like the other teammates. Adam Smasher, I think. And Cyclone, I think her name was. But either way, so it's just like, yeah, they make that point in the movie, and so it's like you're supposed to really like the characters. There were the characters I think that you were supposed to really like that were supposed to team up with Black Adam. You didn't really care about at all because they were just dicks.
Like, I mean, just annoying. The mom's like, I guess there. She was the only one that ever actually had a point.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, she told them flat out, it's like, we have been under occupation for 27 years. Where were you? Where was anyone else while we were being invaded and forced to do all these things? Where were you? Now we have a champion, and now you show up, you want to take him away. Who do you think you are? Like, I mean, it's like, so yeah, I mean,
America. Wait, no.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about Team America. we need someone to talk to her. We don't understand her. Hey, you're a great actor. Talk to her. Oh, Durka. No, Durka. Flawless. It was so horrible. But And that's one thing I do appreciate, though, is the fact that everyone, including Black Adam, even though it takes place in the Middle East, I love the fact that they all speak English. That's their primary language there.
Yeah, of course.
It's got to be, because it's an American movie. And the fact that they made it yellow, because it's another country. All other countries outside the United States are yellow.
Look, I saw
everyone knows that.
As soon as I saw they weren't speaking Spanish, I knew it was the Middle East, not Mexico. That's how film works, Brandon.
That goddamn yellow filter.
Is it your first day?
No. Listen, on my cruise, when I went to Mexico, that was my big question. Why isn't it yellow? Had a group of horrified people sitting next to me on the boat, like just staring at me like, that's racist. I'm like, well, no, in every movie it's yellow. Like, why isn't it, in real life? It was yellow in the in Cobra Kai. That's how we knew Miguel was in Mexico. It was yellow. Super yellow. They spared no expense with the yellow for Cobra Kai. Anyway, if
anybody's out there wants to do a Coldplay parody talking about the yellow filters, I won't pay for it, but I will listen to it every day.
I'm gonna have to make one. Oh man. Anyway, so back to Black Adam, and not just Black Adam, but with critics in general, right?
Yeah.
Audience reaction through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Audiences, they loved it. I got called all kinds. I was telling you earlier on the phone. I got called all kinds of names because I said it was okay. Like, I'm not going to go in here and start trying to like verbally suck Dwayne Johnson's cock on here, but it's like it was okay.
Yeah, whoa.
What?
Whoa.
His shafts. Sorry.
You could have easily said Dwayne's Johnson.
Dwayne's Johnson. Well, no, I would not be sucking Dwayne's Johnson. That's actually a good one. Thank you. And singing his praise. He did good. He did what Dwayne Johnson does best, which is play Dwayne Johnson in a different role in a different kind of movie. So I mean, he's doing great. He's I saw a whole lot of Hobbs from Fast and Furious. I saw a whole bunch of what's his face from Jumanji. I saw a whole bunch of the guy from The Game Plan. I saw a whole bunch of him from The Rundown. Yeah, I saw Dwayne Johnson be Dwayne Johnson for like 2 hours.
Not everybody can be as versatile as you.
Hey, first off, I did great with that role. Okay.
Consider that my birthday present to you.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, you're so sweet. Yeah. But anyway, so like the point is, Dwayne Johnson, like he does what he does best, which is play himself in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kind of like an emotional range, but it's kind of like an emotional range of like not like a completely dried, but almost completely dried sponge. It's got like a little dampness to it, but like nothing that's really that interesting.
For the most part, he just has to be tough.
That's it. That's his entire life. Muscles. And he's got muscles. He's got to be someone badass.
He's tough and compassionate.
See, John Cena completely shocked me when he played the Peacemaker. There are some scenes in the Peacemaker where he actually got very emotional. I was surprised by like how he could. I don't know how I was surprised to see his emotional range as an actor.
There.
I never saw that with him before. So Peacemaker, I'm like, wow, that's actually okay. All right.
I think the thing to remember is that Peacemaker's a TV show, and up until this point, other than WWE, his job has been to be tough guy in movie. For TV, you actually have to have depth to some of these characters because it's not just get out.
But man, he had some depth when he was in the Suicide Squad. Not much, because he was pretty much like just always going
gung ho,
yeah,
first.
Yeah, But it's like at the very end, before he got shot in the neck and everything else, you saw some of that depth.
Yeah, that whole
Like, I mean,
maybe we're the bad guys.
yeah. Like, yeah, when he refers to himself as, like, when he finds out he's the bad guy, when he's forced to possibly kill the girl, you can tell he was struggling with it. When he killed, what's his face? I forget his name. But when he killed him and stabbed him in the chest with that tile, like, there was some range there with Dwayne Johnson. There was really not any of that. Like, there's like a moment, but Dwayne Johnson's range of sadness is just him closing his eyes and looking down for a second. Sad rock. Like,
And that turns into
exactly. That's his. Do the eyebrow thing too.
I don't know why I cleared my throat for that.
I don't know. You gotta look off to the side. The other side. The eyebrow raises to where he's looking. Like, I mean, so it's like he's like looking, like, say, towards his left. Like, I mean, so, But like I said, Dwayne Johnson does what Dwayne Johnson does best, which is play Dwayne Johnson in an action film starring Dwayne Johnson.
I can do something
So,
Dwayne Johnson can't.
What's that?
This.
But Jim Carrey can do that. But either way, so
I think he can literally only raise the one eyebrow.
It's like the movie. What was it? Be Cool.
Mm-hmm.
With John Travolta, Vince Vaughn, and Uma Thurman. Where Dwayne Johnson plays a bodyguard. And he's like, I even have like a pose. He's like, oh, that's really good.
You know what? After I saw Be Cool, I swore I would never say anything about his acting. After watching the music video that he did for "You're Not Woman Enough to Steal My Man."
Like, you know way.
I'm good.
Well, let's get back on topic here. Welcome to WADcast, everyone, where we always get off topic somehow for half the show before we get back to the point of the show.
So let me ask you, why do you think critics see things the way they do, other than just having a degree?
Honestly, I think that a lot of them are burnt out and think of themselves as being more important than they are. A lot of them, I think, are trying to make a name for themselves, so they come off as very pretentious in some of their articles or their reviews, things like that. A very honest review that I read somewhere about Black Adam was some guy saying, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I'm not going to tell you that it's the best movie I've ever seen. I'm not going to say it's anywhere near the worst movie or the most mediocre movie. It's in a spot where I don't regret seeing it. I think you should go see it too. And that's all I'll say, because I'm not the one that made this movie. And I know I couldn't make this movie myself. Like, oh, okay, that's actually a pretty honest review.
May I chime in with my 2 pennies?
Go for it.
Well, I think as far as critics go, there's a lot of things to be considered. One, we'll say the platform or the periodical, whatever the case may be, of where they're doing their work. Movie reviews for Rolling Stone are going to be different than movie reviews for the New Yorker.
Yeah.
People are writing reviews essentially for their audiences, and the publications hire people that fit with their audiences, sort of structured beliefs.
Yeah.
That's why you're going to, if you write for a pretentious magazine, they're going to want a pretentious film critic. that's their target audience. So one of the things to think about is critics are writing as much for their for their audience, for their people.
Subscribers.
There you go. And it doesn't discount their words any more than it discounts any other critics. The thing is, yeah, if you write for superhero, fan site and have your journalist credentials, you're probably going to have a different opinion of Black Adam than somebody from uh, Great Smelling Farts magazine.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to consider. And another thing to take into account is critics. Sure, there's some of them have degrees in whatever, blah blah blah, but they watch so many movies, just tons of movies, and they don't generally don't like to see a lot of the same things over and over and over and over again. And when it comes to sort of a mainstream mass appeal type movie, there are going to be a lot of familiar tropes and a lot of familiar plot lines and a lot of familiar beats. And just from the repetition of seeing the same stories play out over and over again, it can be a bit tedious and bring down a score. Other than the the technical aspects that critics are supposed to be looking for, the ideal critic is going to put all of his personal feelings about how much they enjoyed the movie really to the side and critique and analyze the film as it stands based on certain criteria. And like I say over and over again, there is an objective way to look at movies. It's not 100% subjective. There are lines of quality that you can follow to give a movie a good or bad score. Now, on the flip side, you have audiences, and there are a lot of people out there that watch a lot of movies. True. There are a lot of people out there that have some sort of technical training in film. Again, totally true. But there are also a lot of people out there that get to the theater, 2-3 times a year, tops. And there are people out there that just aren't super interested in movies. I know it's crazy to think. Just like there's people that I don't like music. The hell who doesn't like music? They're there. And I'm not saying again that those people have any less validation for their opinions than anybody else. But that's where the true subjectivity comes in, because they're going based on how much they enjoyed it and not based on the analytical approach that critics are supposed to do.
Yeah.
One's more emotion based and the other is supposed to be more logic based. It's like the whole Kirk Spock thing.
Yeah.
It's really two sides of the same coin. And here's where I personally stand. You can enjoy a bad movie. I've said this repeatedly. You are totally allowed to enjoy a bad movie. I know I do quite often. I get called out a lot for it. You like that movie? That movie's garbage. I'm like, no, I personally enjoy it. I'm not going to say it's a good movie. I just happen to like it. But the inverse of that is just don't try to say a bad movie is good. Let's be clear. You enjoyed it. That's great. But don't try to, sell something that's just not there. And I think with Black Adam in particular, the idea that there are people out there that think, oh, all of these critics are, paid for. It's like, or maybe they just saw a slightly above mediocre movie.
Yeah.
And said so. And that's where I land. I enjoyed it, but let's not say that it was, some sort of greatness.
Yeah. Like I said, it's okay.
It's okay.
Like, I mean, it's like I don't regret seeing it. I enjoyed watching it, but it's okay.
Sometimes being okay is okay.
Yeah, that's the best it's going to get. The fanboys really don't like the fact that I'm saying it's okay. Fuck off. It's okay.
I heard people say, "Didn't you see that post-credit scene? Oh, the thing that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual plot of the movie."
Yeah, we just got to hear him. We just got to hear him actually say the name Black Adam. That's it. We heard someone say the name Black Adam in the post-credit scene. We had Henry Cavill, and don't get me wrong, I was excited to see Henry Cavill back as Superman. I do think he's a great actor for that role. But it had nothing to do with it. We need to talk. End of it. Like,
okay, I'm gonna jump on the fanboy bandwagon here and say two things were awesome about that, because he didn't say we need to talk. He said we need to talk, which was a great tone for a Superman. Finally, after how many years, he has a Superman voice. And the other part was, did you see he had the curl? He had the curl. Finally had the curl.
Oh, yeah, like he had the Jerry curl?
That little curl.
Huh.
Finally. And, of course, press afterwards, he came out and said, it's great I'm back. I feel great being back. And he said what he wants is to move forward to be a Superman of hope, of joy. Like, yes, that's what you should have been from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He did have the curl. No, I didn't notice that.
Instead, in the first several appearances of his Superman, we got a guy that was raised by a, I'm going to say it, a kind of a sadistic Jonathan Kent. Let the children die.
Oh, God.
Bathe in their blood. That's Jonathan Kent.
And not to mention, he is like gaslighting the shit out of the mom that came to like talk to him about Clark. I just watched Man of Steel today. Okay.
Sorry.
And the whole no, listen, I enjoy that movie. Okay. I really do like that movie. But the thing is like the scene where after Clark pulls the bus out of the water and he saves the fat like bully kid. Next shot is like a woman being in the Kent's house talking to them about what Clark did. And he says, well, maybe your son's just overreacting. Maybe he's just like, well, I'm sure that he thought he saw what he saw. It's like, well, no. Lana said the same thing. Joseph said the same thing. Like, it's like names a list of kids. Like, they all saw him do this.
Everybody knows.
And then, and then Jonathan Kent lets him, I think he was just depressed. Because he let himself die, so Clark didn't use his powers in a town where everyone already knows there's something different about him.
Yeah.
Like, Clark can quite literally move damn near as fast as lightning. Like, he could have saved Jonathan Kent without anyone even seeing him at all.
Mm-hmm.
No one, but no, Jonathan Kent just like the whole super dramatic, like just.
I'm gonna die with the dog.
Yeah. But
remember what we're talking about, how it connects with Wonder Woman 84.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan Kent's a damn liar, or everyone has a very short-term memory.
Well, what about the idea that it was either Jonathan or Martha that wished for a baby, and they never renounced their wish.
That's right. I forgot that conversation. Yes. Yeah, because I mean, like the whole point of Wonder Woman 84, that final scene, that was pretty much on the basis that everyone in the world deep down is not selfish. That's a hell of a big plot hole right there, because someone wish for like $2 million. You must renounce your wish because it's a lie. And it's like a whole rambling speech about like how wishes and them coming true are bad this time.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I know. I had sex unconsensually with a stranger that my dead boyfriend was possessing. I had to send my boyfriend back and send back the stranger to whatever life he had before I ruined it.
Therapy.
Yeah, therapy. Therapy, the estranged wife that he was trying to work things out with, but now,
We should put some memes out there that involved a little bit of Wonder Woman 19 or Wonder Woman 84, right? And the whole wishing thing, and then cut to, maybe it can be one of those. There's a picture in the middle things you've been doing lately.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where the first one is,
yeah, the hidden picture meme.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, first one's 84. Second one is, Jonathan or Martha wishing for a baby, and then the final panel is Krypton exploding.
Okay.
Look what they did. He destroyed a whole planet for their selfish wish. And going back to Black Adam for a second, Jonathan Kent's whole thing was, people aren't used to this kind of thing, even though everybody in town knows who you are. And we saw that weird television program where everybody's wishing for stuff. Don't know about that. Maybe they didn't have cable. I don't know. But the fact that in Black Adam, Hawkman and Dr. Fate, they're like, hello, old friend whom we've been working together for decades. It's like, oh, the JSA's been around for like ever? It's been a thing? Really?
Yeah, what he says, like, life is good, but it could be better. like it's, yeah, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say that was a worldwide telecast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I mean,
so final judgment, Jonathan Kent, he's a dick.
Yep.
And a liar. So it's no wonder he raised a kid that's just, you know what? Gonna say it, makes his mom work at Sears and run a farm.
Yep. Yeah, like definitely the worst iteration of Jonathan Kent we've ever seen in any kind of live action performance. The worst. Damn you, Kevin Costner. Can't play Robin Hood properly. You can't play Jonathan Kent properly. What can you do?
And who winds up saving the day for Clark's mom? Who does it?
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, the billionaire. I bought the bank.
Yeah. How'd you convince the bank to do this? Like, oh, I bought it.
It wasn't Clark, the mama's boy, the farm boy, the Kansas boy. It was the guy from Gotham.
Yeah.
The one that just routinely kills people dressed as a bat.
I don't kill. Snap.
He's sleeping.
Look at him. He's all tuckered out. No, they're not dead. They're at a farm. They're running around. I still get emails from my mom and dad.
That reminds me, we should check in with Matt McCarthy again.
So stupid. God, Peggy was like, really? You guys are after me? It's like, yeah, I know.
That's a gun.
Oh, God. Oh God. I'm gonna have to do like a Batman marathon.
Great stuff.
It's so stupid. All right, so I mean, anyway, so and the other thing that people were complaining about with Black Adam is the fact that there was some kind of comic book connoisseur that is a horrible connoisseur because they didn't know this, but someone was telling me about how they didn't like the fact that Black Adam was not a bad guy in this movie. I'm like, well, he hasn't been a bad guy in like 15 years now, 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, he's always been a bad guy. It's like, not until like the mid 2000s when they reinvented the character and made him more sympathetic. So he's not a bad guy now. He's got motivations, but it's not out of hatred for Shazam and the Wizards. It is hatred for the world
It's
that
not
took
a
his
binary system.
it took his family. Like his life was not fair. He got his power from his son, so he would live. Once his son transferred his power, the son was the original champion. The son transferred his power and was immediately killed right in front of him in his arms. And that's when he kind of, went a little ape shit there and, got naughty. And then, that's one thing too. The CGI for like the more average looking Dwayne Johnson, the fact that Dwayne Johnson is so damn big, they had to CGI his face onto an average guy's body.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't even average either. That guy was still toned, but he was just smaller, with less definition, less veins popping out of his arms. That CGI was horrible, dude. That was really bad. Captain America came out. The first Avenger came out what? 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago now?
Like
they did a better job with that.
2010?
I don't think it was 2010. I think that was like 2011. But either way, so it was like, let's say it was like a decade ago, give or take.
2011, yeah.
Was it 2011?
Yeah.
Okay. So just like the CGI, it was a little wonky at times. Watching it, right? I mean, it's like there were some things that it wasn't great CGI at times. It was kind of rough. But the story was there. Like I said, like for people like sucking Dwayne Johnson, as you put it, it was okay. It was. Am I going to see it again? Probably not. I don't really think I need to.
I put it right up there I gave it the same score as I gave Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's not great. It's a movie.
I'll quote it every once in a while. He didn't make it.
That is the only part of the movie. I know the movie wasn't set up to be a comedy, but that part was hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
That was hysterical. Using a super hearing to hear the guy go splat. Bring him in. I'll probe his mind. We'll find out everything. Oh yeah, you killed him, didn't you? Poof. He didn't make it. Son of a bitch can move faster than a bullet. He's like, I'm not even going to try.
You know what? I'm going to say another thing that irritated me a little bit about that opening, his awakening, and he's surrounded by armed guards, and the guards are like, "No, you check him out. Me check him out? No, it's your turn. No, you check him out."
Yeah.
So the guy's like, "Fine, I'll go," and it's not like "Hey, you, put your hands in the air." The guy literally says, like, "Hey, amigo, can we see your hands, please?" He's like the nicest, like, henchman ever. And what happens? Dead.
He was a trainee, He was the apprentice.
He was literally not making any sudden movements. He wasn't doing anything threatening or intimidating. He calls Adam friend.
And he even died the most gruesome way possible. And after the guy was nothing but a skeleton, he crushed his spine. Like, damn. He was so nice.
This was your hero, everybody. I'm not a hero. Well, clearly.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to side with the JSA now. Did you see what happened? We have to stop this guy. Okay.
So it's like now I'm curious like how this is going to go down because with him and Shazam for years, those two have been like pretty much enemies. But that was in the old version of the story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Back when Shazam was just angry over being banished. So there's different iterations of the story. I
Mm-hmm.
think they were going to go with the one where he's like kind of like just, like the brooding asshole of the two versus Shazam being like a 14, 15-year-old kid or at this, I don't know. But so you have like the three levels of Shazam here. You have Shazam, then you have Black Adam in the middle, and then you have like the devil guy that Black Adam killed. That was like the Underworld's champion with the same powers plus fire. But I don't know. Just it was okay. The guys in like 1 hour show about nothing and everything aside. Go see the damn movie. If you want to go see it, go see it. If you don't, you don't. Like it's you're not missing anything. You're not gaining anything.
It'll be
You're
on
not
HBO
like
eventually.
it's going to get there sooner or later. But it's worth forming your own opinion about. I'd be a horrible film critic. Go see it. Try it out. Movies are like shoes. If they fit, they fit. If they don't, you toss them.
I think I'd be a pretty good film critic. But I would more or less make my reviews more like music columns where and you talk about what you liked and what you didn't like about the movie, right?
Yeah.
But rather than saying it good, it bad, you just lay it out there and maybe add things like, you know what? If you liked Shazam, there's a good chance you'll like this. Or if you liked just insert movie here, there's a good chance you'll like this. Kind of give them a sort of something to latch onto to compare to something they already like. That way, if people see those other recommendations, like, well, then maybe I won't like this because I hate those other movies.
Yeah.
It kind of falls into the Netflix you may also like category. And you know what? There are times when the you may also like stuff has led me to stuff that I really like. And I'll be honest, there are times when I see things like, oh, this is similar to this. And I'm like, then I don't want that.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Go see it if you want to watch the five faces of Dwayne Johnson's entire range of emotion and acting.
Go see it if you want to see some cool action people with superpowers.
Yeah. But on that note, I do have to get out of here. I have to start getting ready. I will call you on my way to work. I know. I'm sorry, sweetie. But everyone, bjackman1982 on Instagram, Reddit and Junk on Facebook, thewadcast.com. This will be the last month that the website is up. Then we're going to be kind of rebranding it, refurbishing it. It's going to be down for a little bit till we figure out how we want it to look. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Or Brandon Junk on TikTok. That's right. I've got a tiki-taki. Whatever. So go follow me.
And an
or not.
OnlyFans.
And an OnlyFans, and I have a follower now. I have a fan, so I'm set there. You guys don't have to follow me on that.
There you go.
Yeah, but I gotta go. Josh, miss you, love you. Talk to you in a few minutes.
All right. Music. Still here? That always drives me away. All right. Thank you for joining us for the WADcast, episode number 110. Critics versus audience. We had a good time. Talked a lot about stuff. Talked a little Black Adam. But this is the part of the night where I say things like, if you want to know more about what we do here at Wadco Media, go to wadcomedia.com, find it on Facebook, give it a like. Every day, almost, there's generally something new. Right now, the surefire standards are Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Wednesdays, it's 10 to 1, the List podcast, where Jen and I make lists related to movies. The last one we did, which was, Wednesday, it was our top 10 movies of 2022 so far. And it was an eclectic list, as it usually is. I'm not going to tell you what mine were. You're going to have to tune in to find out. Available where all fine podcasts are sold. You know what? That's technically not true, because I do the podcast dubs on Sunday. So all podcasts are available to download generally around Sunday evening. Make sure you subscribe and do all those wonderful things to make sure that Wadco Media shows are always in your podcatcher. Also on Thursday, there's TV dinners. Last night, we had an episode of TV dinners, except the cast of 10 to 1 hijacked the show and turned it into a TV dinners / 10 to 1 show, where we made more lists this time talking about TV and the 10 must-see shows you should watch at least once all the way through. Again, not going to spoil that. You can find TV dinners from Wadco Media and moviesandmeals.com. Check it out. But of course, every Friday night, it's right here at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, the WADcast, where we talk about writers, actors, and directors. I'm gonna do a little bit of what you call it, a little preview of what's coming up. Mondays, we've got a new show coming. It's called Tori Finds the TARDIS. Good friend of the show and Wadco Media in general, as well as frequent contributor to TV Dinners and the Movie Potluck. Tori has never watched Doctor Who, so now she's getting her own show from us here, where we're going to watch her watch Doctor Who. Well, not live, but we're going to get reactions to every episode as Tori watches Doctor Who for the first time. Next week, a little special programming note on Tuesday or Wednesday. Stay tuned to Wadco Media on Facebook to find out exactly which. We're going to be a live panel discussion on the People's Choice Awards, and we are going to fill out our ballots live on the air. And you can join us either Tuesday or Wednesday. Keep an eye on Facebook for that, and maybe I'll tweet out something about it too. Honestly, I've never been an avid tweeterer, so it is what it is. Also, there is a brand new game show podcast called Who Could It Be? In the same vein of classic game shows from the 50s and 60s, panelist shows where people try to figure out something about someone, it's who could it be? And as soon as the panels start getting filled out, where I know exactly who's going to be guesting when, we'll be able to get that show off the ground. Josh's World is coming back. There's going to be no episode of that every Sunday, hopefully starting this Sunday. But honestly, I'm not going to hold my breath a while. We try to, rework out the kinks of having a website and all that jazz. Wow, this has been the longest final thoughts and plugs ever. Woo! And you know what? Don't forget to go to moviesandmeals.com, because it's a lot of fun. There, Jen, unplugged your amazing website. Cool. Well, I guess all that's left is the actual final thought, which is, remember, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you and me shaking this table all the time. You're the only one stopping yourself from being what you want to be. You're the only one stopping yourself from being the artist you want to be. If you want to write. You don't need fancy software. You don't need Final Draft. You don't need anything except pencil and paper to do it. It helps to have, equipment, but even if you only have a laptop with Microsoft Word, a few Google searches about formatting and all that jazz, you can do it. If you want to make a movie, you got a phone. Hit record. Hire your friends. Feed them. Give them drinks. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world, because you know what? It won't be the greatest thing in the world. But any experience is still experience. People get experience from making bad things just as much as they get experience from making good things. But the thing they have in common is they're getting made. And if you want to make a movie on your cell phone, go for it. The point is, you have to do it to do it. And don't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Start today. Start right now. Start as soon as this show ends. Don't wait. Well, that's going to do it for us here. I have a feeling my phone's going to ring any second, so I'm going to go ahead and call it for the week. We will see you next week for episode number 111 of the WADcast. I hope you all have a wonderful time, and